Live from Nerd Bacon HQ in Des Moines, Iowa, this is the Level Up Lariat podcast, brought to you by Bacon.com. I am Jeff, a.k.a. Jeff Ross from Bacon.com.
And I'm Dave the Watchman with Bacon.com.
And I'm Level Up Justin with Bacon.com.
And this is the best podcast in the history of podcasts, talking about wrestling and video games by three people in the Midwest who write for a website based on a pork byproduct. Done.
You got it.
Like
That's
that?
right.
I don't know how it could get any better than that.
I've noticed our faces look a lot different. Justin's out of the beard game. Justin got rid of the Mario mustache, the curling mustache. He's out of it now.
I am missing it.
I've gone to the beatnik look, and Dave's staying in the game though. I give you props.
Thank you.
So,
I believe in a beard.
I'm getting back into the game immediately, so this is just temporary.
Dave believes in beards. I believe in beers. So cheers.
I believe in beards. That's all I got.
Fellas, happy to be back with you this week, talking about professional wrestling and video games. Shall we dive right in?
Let's do it. We had a little event that involved chambers and eliminations this week.
Oh.
Yeah, and before we start, because this is going to be a real shitty episode, before we get into all this, people who are watching of course, we are live at twitch.tv/nerdbacon, and of course, you'll find the archive either on the nerdbacon.com site or the YouTube channel. If you're in chat, feel free to say hi and chat, interact with us. That's why we're here. If you're lurking, thanks for lurking. We love people just watching, and we want to put on a good show, so thank you all for being here. Guys, Elimination Chamber was this past weekend, and god damn it, I was bored out of my mind. This show overall sucked, and not just because of the main event, but real quick, the match of the night for me was Asuka and Nia Jax. I thought those two put on a hell of a contest, and Nia really proved why she should be the champion, and why she's a really good talent. Tag championship match was bad because no one cares about Titus Worldwide.
No one cares. Was Dana? I missed a lot of it. So was Dana Brooke crunching the numbers?
Of course. Of course. She's coming down with two giant African-American males wearing all white.
Right.
Crunching the numbers.
Nice.
This was the beginning. Let's just kind of go through this a little bit here. So the opening contest was the women's chamber match, where Alexa Bliss retained her championship over Sasha, Bayley, Mandy Rose, Sonya Deville, and Mickie James.
Yes.
The whole storyline going in was these pairs of friends, and which didn't really factor in at all because Absolution was out first and second, and then Sasha kicked Bayley in the face, and then Mickie James wasn't. So it didn't matter, and Alexa Bliss won, and no one cared.
Well, it was a pretty predictable outcome, which goes into what I was saying last week about there really doesn't need to be a pay-per-view between Royal Rumble and WrestleMania because nothing is really going to change at that pay-per-view, and that was proven Sunday night. Nobody expected Alexa Bliss to drop that title.
No. I think there should be a pay-per-view just to further storylines and kind of whet your appetite before. I don't think there should be two like we're getting this year, but going forward, I think there'll only be one. But I think there should be one just to kind of push storylines forward or develop ones just in time for Mania.
I don't know. It just seems like a waste of a pay-per-view, just to me.
Well,
I've got the similar thought about Fastlane coming up here. Like, when is that? This Sunday or next Sunday?
I can look it up. It's very soon.
Yeah. We don't need that pay-per-view. We know what's going to happen in the main event. Sammy and Kevin are going to collide. They're going to turn on each other, and then we're going to get the Sammy-Kevin match at WrestleMania, which is going to be awesome. But you can do that on an episode of SmackDown. You can have that same main event on SmackDown. I'm just saying. Anyway.
March 11th. So not this Sunday coming up, which is the 4th, so the Sunday after will be Fastlane. Yeah, and I'm kind of in the middle of you guys both. The only reason I say that is because I feel like one singular event wouldn't be a bad idea, just to like set up some storylines, have an extra thing here or there. On the rare occasion they do have a title switch hands, and it's kind of like that oh my god moment that happened.
Right.
But like at this point, it's becoming more and more predictable that like they don't really need it as much. So if they do go to a single pay-per-view event for both SmackDown and Raw and not doing the separate, then that'd be their way to do it.
So what were some of the highlights? Instead of going match by match, let's just go, what were some of the highlights for us on this pay-per-view?
Yeah, boy, a lot of lowlights here.
Well, I thought the women's chamber match that started the show, which was interesting.
Was it groundbreaking?
Historic.
It was historic. It wasn't terrible. Alexa Bliss pulling the twisted bliss off of the top of one of the chambers, which is off top of the pods. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
The not really frog splash that Sasha Banks did off of the pod was also pretty legit. She just didn't really do the actual like frog motion in and out. She just kind of more of a laid out, but she did hit it. I mean, it was pretty far away. That was pretty cool.
And can we say how much I really enjoy this redesign of the chamber compared to when it first came out?
Oh, it looks cool.
It looks cool. You got the big windows in the corner, and I have room to jump off as opposed to RVD crushing Triple H in the larynx.
Yeah. The lights on the top to show which person was coming out next was cool.
That's cool. I like this design of the chamber as opposed to the 1.0. God, I mean, the tag match was bad. The Asuka and Jax match was actually pretty good. Can we talk about Ronda Rousey here?
Might as well. I mean, that was a highlight.
Before that, I started texting you guys during the Matt Hardy Bray Wyatt match.
Yes, wasn't a terrible match either.
It wasn't. It's just sorry, Dave. Nobody cares. No one cares because this rivalry's gone on for too long, and it's still going on.
I care.
It's gonna end at WrestleMania.
Yeah, but now you're gonna get into like the Hardy compound stuff and the Wyatt compound stuff. Now it's really gonna get interesting.
But you have to admit, right now, nobody cares that it's dragging.
Right.
It's the fact that the crowd was chanting for Rusev Day and Beach Ball Mania and doing everything except watching the match.
Why cheer for Rusev Day every day?
Sure. But that's not the match you want to be. Ideally, you shouldn't be chanting that during that match. No one cares, Dave, right now, and it could be because it's Bray Wyatt and his rivalries haven't mattered at all and have gone on for too long since ever. There's nothing to gain here from either person.
Yeah, they got to do something to reboot Bray.
It's so bad. He's a talent.
Waste. I know. What a terrible.
He's so
waste.
money. He is so money, and this feud should be money. But the fact that they're not doing the Wyatt compound, they're not doing the Hardy compound, they're not doing anything that made the Broken Universe great or what made the Wyatts great. They're doing none of that here.
If they had him go over Orton at WrestleMania, I think that definitely would have helped. And then he could have dropped it to Jinder Mahal, and that would have been fine.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I had no problem with Jinder being champion. I know some people had problems with that. Some people had problems with Bray Wyatt being champion, but
I loved it. I loved Bray as champion.
Yeah,
I mean, I love the idea of the we knew going in that he's gonna drop this to Randy Orton like that.
Exactly.
And I think we had a problem when Jinder first got the belt. Like, what the fuck? But then, like in hindsight, we go, okay, that's actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
It made sense. It was the right place at the right time.
Anyway.
Yeah, they need to kickstart this thing. They need to get Vanguard 1. They need to get Maxiel. They need to get Rebby. They need to get Senor Benjamin and actually kick this thing off because people don't care right now. And it's just bad because this feud is so money. It can be so money, but they don't know what they have here.
Like everything Matt Hardy does can be so money.
I love the theme song. I love his theme music.
Too. Yeah, it's a good theme
really
song.
good.
I was a little worried at first, but it's pretty good.
Yeah, it grew on me a little bit.
Maybe they're biding time until Jeff comes back. Maybe they'll put him in there somewhere, do the whole Brother Nero thing, and then kick it off. But I don't know. It needs to do something soon.
If you bide too much time, though, then it's going to just, again, like you said, people are losing interest, and people will lose interest completely.
Yeah.
Right.
But Ronda Rousey.
Oh, my God, I don't care. Like, I seriously don't care.
What?
I don't give a shit. And I think it's just...
I'm intrigued to see Rousey in a wrestling ring, and I'm intrigued over the fact that she's a full-time performer. I think that's cool. I'm not intrigued over the fact that it looks like she's going up against Triple H and Stephanie at WrestleMania.
Yeah, this is gonna suck.
I will say.
I'm okay.
I will say.
Go on.
I'm gonna say two things. One, the show felt like it came to a screeching halt when that
segment
came on.
It did.
And two, but the slap that Stephanie laid on her face was brilliant.
Oh, she got that. She got her shit.
She got everything in.
Boy,
she's like, I own you now. You're my bitch. And she gave that slap, and that was a good slap. But yeah, my wife was watching with us, and she even said this feels like it just stopped. Like the show just came to a screeching halt.
Yeah,
and I think, and I don't think it's necessarily Rhonda's fault. She's not golden on the mic or anything yet, but she was a little bit better on the mic and her overall reaction on Monday night. But overall, it wasn't great. I'm not any more intrigued.
Her first words were like, "I'm just so happy to be here. I don't know what to say." You should know what to say. Someone should be telling you what to say. That's how this whole thing works.
Or maybe the writing is just that bad that is what they fed her.
Exactly.
Like, there's always that.
With all the great talent that the women's division has right now, and this influx of Absolution and the Riot Squad, bringing them up, and now all of a sudden, hey, Ronda Rousey's the best.
There's no Ronda Rousey's the best. It's an intriguing attraction. They always have intriguing attractions like that around WrestleMania. The whole WrestleMania concept was built around having attractions from outside of the wrestling world come into the wrestling world. And now she's really all into the wrestling world. So I don't find it like outside of the norm or anything. I'm not put off by it.
Well, I'm not upset by it, but people are like losing their goddamn minds over, oh my God. I was like, okay, great. She's, I didn't care when Dan Severn came in. I kind of care when Ken Shamrock came in because he turned out to be awesome.
Yeah.
But,
sure.
Dan Severn came in like, okay, great. But I'm not going to compare Dan Severn to Ronda Rousey. Two different apples and oranges, obviously.
Right.
But I'm not losing my goddamn mind over this, the way most people are. And the fact that it's going to be a mixed tag match with Ronda and Angle versus H and Stephanie, we assume, it's going to suck.
It's going to suck if it goes down that route. I'm okay with the mixed tag match. I'd rather see Ronda and The Rock face off against Triple H and Charlotte. Personally, heel Charlotte. Yeah.
Sure.
That would be awesome. I'd even be okay with Ronda and Angle facing off with Triple H and Charlotte, or Triple H and one of the other female wrestlers. No, I think it has to be Charlotte.
I just want Angle. I just want Angle and Triple H. So whatever they want. It's Kurt Angle and Triple H.
Angle and Triple H would be money by itself, but if they're gonna put any sort of, I was really hoping that they were going to, as they tease with the Mae Young Classic, just do the 4 horsewomen of MMA and the four horsewomen of WWE, because that's what they were teasing. We know for sure 2 of them are signed in WWE, one obviously in NXT now, and she's not very good or fun to watch either. So anyway, Shayna Baszler.
Oh, right.
She is. I don't use this term very often because it's Dave's term, but she is dog meat. She's
actually,
dog meat.
That's a Fallout thing.
I know, but Dave is the one that uses it.
Yeah.
I think she's worthless. She's not good.
And she was in a title match against Ember Moon. And
right away. They put her right away. I think that would have been cool. Again, it's just interesting because you've got 2 Olympic gold medals against Triple H, and then you got Stephanie. There's one of these things are not like the other.
Yeah.
So and that's where I get it.
That's why I'm not hyped for this match yet.
Right. But what are they going to do? Throw a heel Charlotte in there from SmackDown?
I would be
fine
with
Raw?
that.
I still think
I would too.
I think the rumor is still there that Asuka's going to challenge Charlotte for that SmackDown Women's Championship.
It is until last night when they made it almost official by pretty much announcing it. Like Asuka still, granted she doesn't speak the greatest English anyway, but she's never came out and said, "I challenge you." Right. But last night on Raw, because I did actually happen to watch it, not recorded like I usually do, but I ended up watching it last night, and they, when there was Alexa and Asuka and Mickie James and Nia opened the show, and there was a 3-on-3 tag match that included also Bayley and Sasha Banks, and they basically announced it. Michael Cole and the coach and Corey Graves, all 3 said it's just Charlotte. It's Asuka versus Alexa Bliss now. I still think somehow Nia Jax gets involved or gets into this match.
She should.
It makes sense.
But I don't believe a match until the participants say it. And so unless I hear Asuka come out and say it, then I'm not going to take any stock in what Michael Cole says.
Or at least see the graphic.
Right.
Exactly. Right. There hasn't been either of those things, and I'm on board with that too. I'd rather see Asuka and Charlotte, and then just let it be Nia versus Alexa.
Yeah, nothing against Alexa because she's awesome. Yeah. But I would rather see Asuka and Charlotte.
Yeah.
Because I would rather see that match.
Yeah. I agree.
But they could hype it up well enough, like the right hand or the right arm or forearm, whatever that Asuka took from Alexa looked pretty stiff last night. So she laid her out pretty good. But
look at this.
But Nia put her through the wall on that Chamber.
Nia Jax destroyed her, basically destroyed Asuka at the Chamber. So there's no feasible way that I could picture Alexa Bliss beating Asuka. I could picture Charlotte beating Asuka.
So if Asuka goes up against Alexa Bliss, then where does that leave Charlotte at WrestleMania?
That's the question.
We might be finding out tonight on SmackDown.
Right. That's true. John Cena is supposed to be kicking off SmackDown.
He is.
Yeah.
Now, now.
To get back to the Chamber, we get the men's Chamber match, and this is about the time where my faith in professional wrestling was dashed.
I could feel your tears. I just sat there and laughed because I knew what was going to happen, but I could feel your tears.
I have this thing where I'm not short-sighted and think that WWE is catering to me. I'm aware of this.
Sure.
I predict and I hope what I think would be more entertaining for me personally. So I have my own tastes, and I predict what I would find most entertaining. Fuck it. Roman Reigns won. What should have happened in my mind, because I love Braun Strowman so much. He makes me infinitely happy. Because he just destroys everything, and I love Braun Strowman for that.
Imagine me and Braun and me.
Brock Lesnar has been built up as this unstoppable beast who has not dropped this belt since he won it. He dropped the Goldberg for like a minute, but he's had his championship for a long time. And
you mean he dropped it in him? You mean he dropped it in a minute?
Pretty much.
A minute and 20 or something like that. But,
yeah, he's had it since WrestleMania. He's had it a full year.
Yeah. And he's beat everyone. Samoa Joe, Braun Strowman, and Kane. Everything thrown against him, he beat. So you have to build up this monster in my mind, eliminating everybody in the Chamber makes you go, oh shit, Braun could beat Brock.
Yeah.
Right.
When Roman Reigns beats one person, you go, fucker got lucky.
Not in my world. I'm a genius.
Damn it.
And see, that's the thing is if we were looking at this with what we would consider common sense, I feel like we all three would say Braun makes the most sense and is best for business. Now, they're now going to tout this whole, because Roman Reigns wins, he goes over against Braun, and now they're going to tout this whole 3 years, like it's the third, like, or whatever, the third chance that Roman gets to take Brock, and I don't care at this point. I mean, it's just they've been building it to it.
Yeah, who cares? Who cares?
They're going to boo at WrestleMania, which is something you didn't want to have happen at Mania. At the biggest event, for the biggest title, you assume, because it's on your better show, quote unquote, people are going to now boo your champion.
I'm hoping that this one does not close out the show.
I agree.
I'm keeping my fingers crossed that logic prevails and Shinsuke and AJ close it out for the actual WWE Championship.
Especially since when you win the Royal Rumble, you're supposed to main event WrestleMania.
Right.
So I agree.
But
now
I've got a hard-on for Roman Reigns.
So look, it's pretty much guaranteed here that Roman Reigns walks out Universal Champion.
Yes,
right?
100%. Yeah.
Oh yeah. There's rumors that Brock is actually going back to UFC.
Right.
Yeah, I shared that picture with you guys from Dana White that he had posted on Instagram that, there's talk of him going back to UFC, and I think it's probably the right time if Lesnar wants to do it. He's not getting any younger, and he's fully healed from his diverticulitis issues, and I think if he wants to do it, then fine. But he made the money. He came back for however many years. He's made this nice money, having a cushy part-time gig.
And he
Okay.
made this belt mean something. Like every time that he would face somebody, it felt like a big match because Brock Lesnar made it that. Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman made this belt what it is today.
As much as I wish it was on the show more, you are right. It feels like when that title is around, it's a big deal.
It's a big deal.
Stupid name. Big deal.
You put it on Roman Reigns, it's not a big deal anymore.
Nope.
You put it on Braun Strowman,
it's a
pretty big deal. No pun intended.
So maybe that's where they go next. I mean, hopefully that after Reigns has his moment in the sun, at some point Braun's got to get that title. It would make sense to anoint your new giant monster, your new unstoppable monster champion at Mania, but no, you're going to put on Roman Reigns. Right. Everyone just sees it a mile away, and it's just shit. Right. So on Raw's side of things, I could not care less about the Raw's matches at Mania right now.
Right. I'm not disagreeing with you at this point.
Unless they do like, hey, let's have Braun and Elias go. Fine, I'll watch it. And I love both those guys.
Well, that's what they're teasing. Like they faced each other last night. That's almost what they're teasing is Braun and Elias, which I was disappointed in because I thought it almost set up a nice Braun interjected into the IC title match maybe, but they're doing they introduced Seth and Finn last night into that area, so to say.
Yeah, so Seth beat The Miz, and then Finn came out after the match and did something.
Beat him and beat him again. So he beat an already beat up Miz.
It's probably going to be like a fatal 4-way for the IC title.
Yep. Sure.
Either that or Braun Strowman, my friend, will be your next Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal winner.
Oh, God. Oh, my God. I mean, you're probably right.
Oh, man. I feel your pain. I agree with you totally. I mean, from a logical standpoint, I think Braun should be getting the nod and going over. He's as a big guy, he's much more dynamic than who was the last big guy they really pushed? It was like Ryback. Remember when they were building Ryback up because they needed someone credible to go against CM Punk? And Ryback was just, you want to talk about dog meat. That guy was just shit.
He just never got over it because people just kept chanting Goldberg and he wore RVD's tights and all that sort of stuff. So he never got over it. But
he was dumber than... You could just tell he was a stupid dude. I mean...
Right.
There's nothing dynamic about him. But Braun's cool. Braun's funny. Braun could do some stuff.
Funny.
Yep.
God.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Every time he talks, I'm like, I love you. You talk too much. And then that's all he has to say.
Like, they're letting his personality shine a lot more. Yeah. And he's, the catchphrase with, time to get these hands.
He's this giant stand-up bass that he's mocking Elias with. I loved every second of that.
Yeah,
but he got fired and he wrecked shit and he grabs this guy's chocolate cake and puts it in his face. Funny. I love every second when Braun's on screen. He's the best thing in WWE right now, and he can't get by because of Roman fucking Reigns.
Vince doesn't see it that way.
But Vince traditionally loves these giant monsters. He can push as giant monsters, and Braun is the stereotypical giant monster.
I don't know what to tell you, dude. I don't know what to tell you.
I think my text went, okay, Braun's going to win. Braun's going to beat them all. This would be great. Braun and Brock at Mania. This would be great. And then Roman got the pin, and I said, fuck wrestling. I think that's the text I sent you guys.
I remember I laughed when I saw it.
Yeah, it's just heart was shattered. It's like, come on, really?
Yeah, I really was thinking Braun might pull it off. Actually,
how cool would that have been?
Started to believe, and then my stream was lagging behind your guys' stream, and then I got the fuck wrestling thing, and it was like, oh, I know who just won.
Yeah.
But man, that'd be such a great build-up if he beat all 6 other guys, and he's went, let's go, Brock. That'd been a great build-up. It would have made so much sense, but. This is me applying logic to a logical situation.
To close out our wrestling talk for the day, let's talk about somebody who doesn't have a path to WrestleMania, and that's poor Big Match John. Old John Cena seems to be left out in the cold. He came on Raw last night and teased what we all assumed was going to happen, John Cena versus The Undertaker. He blatantly calls out The Undertaker. The crowd... Holy crap, guys. Did you see that crowd? They went crazy. That is the
Twitter
biggest.
blew up.
No, it was
Twitter
the
blew
biggest
up.
pop John Cena has received in 10 years. They were crazy. And then he says it's not going to happen. So why even tease it, you dicks?
Yeah.
Because it will happen.
I hope so. I hope it's a big
I think
swerve.
at this point it's going to happen. I think there's no question about it. It's just a matter of...
I have a perfect way to do it, which is why they're not going to do it. But anyway, he's on SmackDown right now.
Yes.
Presumably finding another road, which I assume to be either he'll enter himself into the main event at Fastlane, making a 6-pack challenge for the title, which he won't win because AJ has to win this, or he'll find some way to get into a triple threat at Mania, which I don't want to have happen.
Yeah, that's like the big no-no. Do not let that happen.
I think he will enter himself into Fastlane and make it a 6-pack challenge. He will not win because AJ will beat him. And then he comes on to probably Raw. He first up on Raw the next night and says, I don't have a way to WrestleMania. Is my career over? Is my career dead? Bong. Taker shows up.
All right. I buy it. I am intrigued.
That would be cool if the keyword is my career dead? Bong.
I'll buy it. Let's see.
It's time to submit your latest.
Yeah, I think in some way, somehow they end up facing each other. I mean, that would be really cool if that happened. I don't know if they do it through SmackDown or do it through Raw, or if they just bounce back and forth since he is a free agent and let them appear when they necessarily want to appear, when Taker's schedule, allows it or whatever he's doing. But
I mean, look, in a perfect world, I don't actually want to see Undertaker anymore. He had that great send-off.
Right.
He had the lasting image of his coat and his hat in the ring. Ultimately, it's up to Taker, not me, obviously.
Right.
Yeah, I'm saying if Taker wants to do it, Taker should do it. That's all.
But don't come back to job to Cena.
I don't think he is.
No, and here's the thing is, I'm of the mindset that the Undertaker, if he had to loses to Brock Lesnar, and then that's how that should have ended, where you lose to Brock Lesnar, and that's when you put your jacket and the hat in the ring and you're done. There should have been no loss to Roman Reigns. And, this match is at least 3 years too late, at least.
Agreed.
So and he did say when he said, I'm going to call out the Undertaker, something I should have done a long time ago. No shit. So but I haven't seen anything yet on the news, on the Twitter. I'm kind of looking.
I have actually. I've got it.
Okay.
So
besides they put up the wrong graphic, it looks like when he came out.
Yeah, Cena tells the crowd that the reason he is there is the same reason every superstar in the back is there. The only person with a guaranteed match at WrestleMania is Shinsuke Nakamura. Cena notes that he knows that there is a fatal 5-way match at Fastlane for the WWE title, and he wants in.
Yeah,
Cena doesn't want a handout. Cena wants to know what he has to do to get in the match. And then Shane McMahon joins Cena in the ring. That's all we've got right now. So looks like John's going to be in a match tonight, which will determine if he gets into the Fatal 5-Way, and he'll probably win, getting him into the Fatal 5-Way, and then the scenario that you boys just laid out gets played out.
I assume the match tonight will be against Nakamura.
I don't know yet.
Oh.
I mean, that'd be my guess, would be you face Nakamura. If you beat Nakamura, you're in Fastlane.
Well, but then if you beat the guy that won the Rumble.
And you beat the guy who will, we assume, be the champion. I assume that both titles will change hands. I assume that, obviously Roman Reigns will get the Universal Championship, and I assume that Nakamura will get the world title.
You think so?
I would assume so. But, I mean, I'm okay if AJ wins. This is a dream match scenario. I don't care who wins, really.
Yeah.
I want AJ to retain, if we're being honest with ourselves here.
I'm keeping watch on this developing story to see what happens. Daniel Bryan has joined Shane and Cena in the ring.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, but that's all I've got right now.
Your match is against Daniel Bryan.
God dang, that would be great. Remember that Daniel Bryan versus Cena match at SummerSlam a few years back?
Yeah, dude.
Oh, man, that was just so good. Ugh.
Yeah.
I miss Daniel Bryan.
Despite people shitting on Cena, when he really wants to, he puts down some great matches.
That is the thing. John Cena, the great thing about John Cena, the thing thing that makes John Cena a legend, one of the best wrestlers out there, I'll say it, John Cena is great. The thing that makes him so great is he is so adaptable. People complain about, he's got the 5 moves of doom, but you know what? That guy will pull out some crazy stuff when he's put up to the challenge.
God, remember that? Like, he jumped off the second rope to a stunner? That was nuts.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
And we do have an opponent for John Cena tonight. John Cena will need to earn his way to WWE Fastlane in tonight's SmackDown Live main event against AJ Styles.
Oh. What?
Yeah.
So he's going to beat the champion.
He's going to beat the champion to earn his way into the championship match, and then
there has to be some interference from Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn.
I was going to say we're going to see those two. Yeah.
And Sammy's in the first match. It looks like the first match of the night, Sammy and Baron Corbin. So there's got to be some interference, or maybe there's not. Maybe he wins, and some way, I don't know. But and then obviously at Fastlane, we know he's not going to win, but. Man, it's weird to see that John Cena's in this predicament, but it's almost genius writing when it's like this. So
yeah, I'm gonna give it a thumbs up. I was kind of down on it last night, but now I'm intrigued. Yeah. And they're getting both brands involved. This is good writing. Thumbs up, cool. WWE. Thumbs up.
I like this one.
Yeah.
Kind of cool. In a weekend full of thumbs downs, this is a pretty right. This is working pretty good.
Yeah.
I was going to say something about wrestling, but then I lost my train of thought. I blame the beers for that.
Uh-oh.
Hey, fellas! While we're on this, I had a weekend.
You did
have a weekend. Let's hear about this weekend.
Want to wrap up some wrestling talk?
Let's wrap up that wrestling.
I did some ring announcing for a local independent promotion here in Iowa called Iowa Championship Wrestling. We had a show out in Boone, Iowa, beautiful Boone, Iowa. I'll end up writing an article for this for Nerd Bacon, so we can kind of get into my night as a ring announcer. But it's my second show with the company. I've known the promoter for quite some time, so he got me involved in a bit of ring announcing. So I've done 2 shows out with him. Headlined by Royal Rumble competitor Hurricane Helms. Totally cool, by the way. One of the nicest people I've ever actually met. Like, very upfront and forward, and I said, "Oh my God, I'm a huge fan," and I dressed as you for homecoming because it was just your favorite star day. I'm like, I'm Hurricane. When I walked across stage, my diploma, I did the Hurra pose, and I thought I was cool.
Yep.
But like, he was a huge influence on me. One of my all-time favorites. I loved the gimmick, and he was a stand-up dude.
Nice.
But it was a really good show, and you guys saw the pictures, and I'll post them in the article about some photos from the show. But it was really neat. And shout out to a mutual friend of Justin and ours, and friend of the show, JT Energy, hooked me up with the energy drink pin that I'll put on my person at some point here. Everyone was super nice to me. You had a real camaraderie in the locker room / behind the black curtain. Everyone shaking hands and saying hello, nice to meet you, how are you, kind of deal. So it was super cool. And we actually had an appearance from NES Pro Wrestling alum Starman. He was there was a guy who was in the Starman getup, like full on Starman costume, and we played the theme song, and I announced a winner is you. Whole deal. It was great.
Nice.
The next show for Iowa Championship Wrestling is April 28th.
Oh.
In the same venue at TK's Event Center in Boone, Iowa. So if you want to get tickets on that or want a free schedule, April 28th out in Boone is our next show.
That sounds awesome. And are you going to ring announce that one as well?
Yes, he asked me to do it. So
okay.
Yeah, I'll be back for my third go around with the company.
Very cool.
This was super cool, and I'll post pictures and article, kind of backstage stuff, because it's a whole different world behind the black curtain. So.
I cannot wait to hear about it.
And I love that he got a custom made. You saw the championship belt is the Winged Eagle belt.
Yes,
it says Iowa Championship on it. So he got a custom made Winged Eagle belt, which was dope. So
very cool.
And I looked good wearing Dave's suit jacket. So
well, you better hang on to that for April then.
Yeah. Oh, well, what I was going to say earlier was we talk about Cena and how great Cena is. When you talk about the Mount Rushmore for WWE/F all time, Bruno Sammartino, Hulk Hogan, Stone Cold, John Cena. Like those are that for me. Those are the four guys that defined WWF/E. And you could put The Rock kind of in number 5 or something there too. But those four for sure defined that company thus far. Because Cena is, without a doubt, one of the greatest to ever get into the ring.
Right.
Anybody, like, think about how long he's been around and been at the top.
Yeah.
And how weird it is to go back and look at his Doctor of Thugonomics stuff and how awesome that was, but how weird it was at the same time.
Right. I wish they would just let him kind of either go back to that or just at some point. I mean, his career is obviously on the downward slope. You know, I mean, it's up to him on how much longer he competes. Not to say that he's not in phenomenal shape.
Right.
But maybe let him do another run of that or eventually. I know Vince would never let it happen, but just let him turn heel.
No.
Just let him do it. Just let him do it.
He'll have
just a Hulk Hogan NWO moment.
He has to lose to Reigns on the way out.
Right. Yeah.
Do the honors to Reigns. Get on your knees to Reigns. Damn it.
And not to disparage Chris Jericho, but I wouldn't put Chris Jericho up there. I would put Chris Jericho as far as just wrestling in general because he's been to everywhere. So.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of wrestling, what happened with Johnny Wrestling? He's leaving NXT.
No. I assume he's getting. Is he getting called up? I assume.
Is he getting called up to find where Ty Dillinger went?
Right.
Well, so he lost a title versus leave NXT match essentially to Andrade Cien Almas. And this was actually, I think they actually technically did the same match on a house show for NXT and then redid it again for like the taping. But my guess is that he's getting called up at some point soon, if not by Mania. You know, getting a little time to break and then he'll be up. But the interesting thing though is they bring Tommaso Ciampa back, and I thought they'd feud them two for a little bit. But I don't know. I don't know how they're going to do that unless they're going to bring them both up.
Look, Johnny Wrestling goes out there and puts on wrestling clinics. Like, that dude goes out there and does match of the night caliber stuff every time he goes out there. So
I agree.
I can't wait to see. Hopefully they don't put him on 205 Live. That'd be a bummer.
Exactly.
Right.
Go out there to
even they're putting Roderick Strong on there, which I guess I like Roddy. I like Roddy a lot. I think he should be the new cruiserweight champion. But boy, 205 Live, the cruiserweight situation right now is dicey.
Yeah.
Oh, also one last bit of wrestling news. Rumor out there, strong rumor and pretty credible source saying that Bobby Lashley is returning to WWE. Do you guys care? I care. I like Bobby Lashley. I thought he was good.
I have a song to sing about that. It's called I Don't Care. No, I don't care. I don't care. Boo, boo, ba, doo, boo.
What's that song called?
I forget the words.
Okay.
I mean, it's cool to see him come back, but I mean, at that moment when he was at, say, the top of the WWE world and he was champion or ECW champion or whatever he was at the time, that's probably when I watched the least because I didn't really care as much. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I got back in. I'm with you. I kind of zoned out, but I think CM Punk brought me back in.
I agree.
Ditto.
So.
I agree. You know, if he comes back, it'd be great. There's no reason to rush him back or bring him back. Just do it after Mania.
Brock leaves, Brock leaves, and put Bobby Lashley kind of in that zone because Bobby was doing great stuff in TNA. He was kind of like making himself a big deal in TNA. Him along with EC3, which by the way, EC3 can't be on NXT just yet because he's still technically on Impact. Like there's still all taped stuff. He's still showing up on Impact.
Yeah,
so they can't put EC3 on NXT yet.
Right.
And hello, Varian. Yes, it is John Cena time.
Hi, Varian.
Get those trumpets.
Yeah.
I will say one last crazy prediction.
Shit.
I think, and I'm starting to feel it, Kenny Omega is coming to the WWE soon.
How? How and
he is
why?
no longer in the Bullet Club.
He's back with Kota Ibushi.
He's back with Kota Ibushi as like the golden lovers. Yes. And I think it was the whole Chris Jericho coming over was just them talking to each other and hey, it's your time. And I think it's just a matter. I mean, everybody that's left the Bullet Club or that was associated has been kind of weeded over. Look at Adam Cole.
How do they work him into WrestleMania though?
I don't know if it's at WrestleMania. It might be right after. I have no idea.
You can't. It's got to be a big show. It's got to be like SummerSlam. It's got to be something big. It can't be like Battleground. No. It's got to be something big.
Right.
What if
Night after Raw?
I was just gonna say that Roman Reigns is out there soaking up the booze, holding up that belt, and he's like, "I beat the unbeatable." Blah blah blah, and then Kenny Omega.
But here's the thing: nothing that WWE can do right now can beat Kenny Omega's current theme music.
Well, right. And the only reason I'm starting to think this is the more and more I pay attention to New Japan and the little bit of Ring of Honor stuff that they're doing. Everybody, like I said, that was in Bullet Club that's gotten like kicked out or has left is, like I said, they've been bringing them over. Adam Cole, was the most recent example I can think of.
Bay. Say it properly.
Yeah, Bay. So I think it's time. I think there's a reason he's no longer in Bullet Club. I don't think it's just for him to tag with Kota Ibushi. I think it's just that it's his time to be on the way out, and it's this time to come over. I think Jericho coming over had a purpose.
Also, with this, Cody Rhodes is doing some of the best work he's ever done.
Yes,
he is such a good heel. He is so good with his character stuff right now. Yep. So I love American Nightmare stuff.
That's the only reason I just wanted to put that out there that I think it's coming. I really do.
Right. That would be sweet. I would say yay.
You got to picture. You got to think that the Young Bucks aren't coming yet because they have that self-funded show coming out in September. That all-in show that Cody's been pushing and the Bucks been pushing and the Villain's been pushing. So that still has to happen.
And I would imagine maybe Omega's in that too. So if anything, that might be what pushes his debut back as well. If he's.
But do you think it's this year? If that show's in September, does Kenny show up in WWE this year?
If he doesn't show up by September, then it's Rumble.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
That'd be the caveat, I think. If it's not by September, what else do you have to bring him in for? At that point, you're past SummerSlam. What else do you got by the end of the year? You're not bringing him back for Great Balls of Fire.
No. Thanks for stopping by, Varian.
Yeah.
Varian.
Saying hi.
And with that,
all right.
Video games, people.
There's a thing called video games.
Yeah, so we do love pro wrestling, but the three of us consider ourselves more experts on the world of video games. And also, there's not much.
Which is why we went long on the wrestling tonight.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
So I got the agenda here. Justin, you had some Smash Brothers rumors from a credible Nintendo source.
Yeah, Dave and I actually were just briefly. There was a little bit of like talk about this when we were texting each other back and forth last week. So last week, someday. I can't remember exactly which day it was. I want to say it was maybe on Wednesday or Thursday. I was kind of watching the Kind of Funny Games Daily, and Tim Geddes was your main host, and then Jared Petty, who's now one of the full-time hosts on there because he's quit his day job and is doing his own stuff. Mm-hmm. Congrats to him. Yeah. Arcade Girl 64, who is a Nintendo source that has
Emily Rogers.
Yeah, what would you say? 85% accurate when it comes to like overall? Like, I mean, she's real accurate.
Maybe 60 to 70.
Okay, she's pretty accurate. She's pretty credible. I think
a little bit better than mine.
I would say I think Tim Geddes put her at 80%, and I mean I went back and kind of looked at some of her predictions. She was pretty accurate with like the Switch launch and the first year for the Switch, what came out, and kind of how they were going to do that. She came out and she said just two simple things. One, there's going to be a new Smash Brothers game, or there's going to be a Smash Brothers game this year. Did not specify new, and did not specify if it's going to be, or if it's going to be like a port. And then I think the only other thing she said was that there will be added features, and I think that was really all I got from that leak or that rumor that she put out there.
I hope she means stable netcode.
Stable netcode would be essential. But
that would be
a functioning game.
I'm not surprised. I mean, I think everybody has kind of felt that Smash was going to get announced this year. It's just time for Smash. And also, it's really looking likely that the next Pokemon game that's being developed right now and Metroid Prime 4 probably are going to be 2019 titles.
Right.
Although we have no idea. We don't know what kind of tricks Nintendo has up their sleeve.
It could be E3 and there can be like, it's out tomorrow. Like, oh, shit.
Exactly.
E3 is 3 months away right now?
That's right.
Yeah, just a little over 3 months away.
Yeah.
It's coming. It's coming. That's a quarter of a year. That's not much
guys,
time.
Not to get off on an E3 tangent, we'll come back to Smash here in a second, but I'm looking forward to E3 because of all the uncertainty. I mean, Nintendo kicked everyone's ass last year, so I want to see their victory tour right now and how they plan to maintain the momentum. Xbox has been putting together a solid effort to compete in the arms race. As far as the console race, they're saying the right things, so they need to produce some right things, which we'll see here. Sony has to rebound because of the PSX left a bad taste in people's mouths. So right now, the race or the industry right now is kind of in a weird place where like Nintendo is momentum, Microsoft is building, Sony needs to rebound. So I'm very interested to see because it's going to be very game heavy this year.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a really wild E3. Absolutely. But getting back to Smash. We had a lot of fun
last year.
Yes, back to Smash. Sorry.
Yeah, back to Smash. The extra features that she's talking about, we all want stable netcode, but netcode is already a feature of Smash. So I think the question is
it a feature?
Is this a new Smash game or is this a enhanced Smash 4? What she puts out there makes it sound like a more enhanced Smash 4.
Right, I agree.
I still maintain that no matter what they put out, it's going to have a tournament mode to it.
Sure.
So you're going to have regular casual Smash, which plays more like Smash for Wii U, and then you're going to have tournament mode, which brings it back to Melee style.
Which would make sense. It would make sense.
Just make Smash 4 faster.
Well, this could make it to where Smash 4 for the Switch or Smash 4 Deluxe or whatever the hell they call it is the end all be all, and they could, instead of having two games like at Evo, have the one. If
that's the dream.
They want to choose it. That's a dream, I know. And again, we have nothing against Melee. It's just us speculating. But
no beef. No beef.
We just want more games, and we want the Smash community to be united in their love for Smash.
Right.
Join us in the future.
I think this Smash game is going to be a Smash 4 Deluxe a la Mario Kart 8 Deluxe kind of situation. It's going to include everything that the DS version had that the Wii or the Switch did not have, or the Wii U version did not have.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it had a few extra I don't know if there's any different characters. I'd have to look up or research, but I know there was like different like levels that you could play on and a few different modes. I think they're going to include that plus maybe some more extra stuff, because think about it. If they created Smash 5 at this point of the game, one, that's a quick turnaround. Yeah. And two, how many of these third-party characters like Mega Man, Pac-Man are going to get renewed to come back for the next one?
Right.
You'd have to really be starting from scratch. Why not give me the entirety of that lineup? Plus, you could add in a few extras and increase that DS stuff.
Well, yeah, it makes sense to do that deluxe version now before those licenses run out.
Exactly.
Because like a Mike Tyson's Punch Out versus Punch Out, the license ran out. So do this now while you still have Namco and Capcom behind you. Also bring back Solid Snake.
Oh yes, please. That's the only thing from Konami that we want.
Which version had the board game mode? Was it the Wii U version?
What's that?
Wait, which version had the board game mode? Was that the Wii U version?
Yeah, it was the Wii U version.
Okay.
Just give me Smash for Wii U, a deluxe version of that with a few extra characters and tournament mode, and I think I will.
It's gonna sell.
Dip. Yeah. I mean, it's gonna sell no matter what, but
and make it playable online.
Yeah, maybe there's updated graphics, because they updated obviously Mario Kart.
What do you think is going to be launching? What do you think is going to be launching the Nintendo Online service in September? Smash.
Right. This crap now.
What?
Well,
I'm gonna pay for lousy netcode now.
You're gonna pay $20 a year. That's not bad.
You also got to think we are coming up. In fact, this weekend or the beginning of next week, we are coming up on the 1 year anniversary.
That's right. Oh, and
I'm not saying they're going to release it, but there could be something.
There's a special stream that Square Enix is doing this weekend, I think on March 2nd or 3rd, marking the 1-year anniversary of Nier Automata. So I'm wondering, and of course that's also the 1-year anniversary of Switch. So are we going to put 2 and 2 together, make it 2B, baby.
Nier Automata on the Switch would be great because that game is fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if I don't know when the next Nintendo Direct would be, but if they just said, "Oh, hey, by the way, 1-year anniversary, here's a small Direct, and by the way, Smash Bros is coming," that'd be a pretty big deal. And I don't know if they're going to do something like that, but it's coming at some point this year. It's coming. I do believe these rumors.
Yeah.
For a Smash announcement, it's going to be either at E3 or Evo. Like for something like that, where you're announcing a whole new game, it has to be at a big event.
I think it would be at E3. I don't think they would have Smash at Evo. They might have a character announcement at Evo, but I don't see them having an announcement of the game at Evo.
I agree
if they
with
announce Smash, it'll be at E3, and then character, big surprise at Evo.
Yeah, I agree.
And they put Geese Howard in Evo in Smash.
That would be crazy. Who would be a great character? Well, I mean, we all want Solid Snake back, but who else would be great
Scorpion.
as an addition for Smash Brothers? Yes, Scorpion. Justin.
Shovel Knight.
Yes,
we've heard about that, but let's think beyond that rumor. Who else?
I think I wanted Shovel Knight since they did the character poll back when that game first came out. I think that would be cool. If you really want to go outside the box, I mean, oh man.
While you're thinking about your box, Jeff has his hand up.
Dante
from Devil May Cry. That would be sweet.
That'd be
he's an MVC. He's in All Stars Battle Royale for the PS3. Like, he's been in fighting games.
Blanca.
Blanca would be sweet. I think the correct answer is Tim Geddes' wish, and that's going to be Crash Bandicoot.
I think Crash Bandicoot would be the right choice. That would be
cool.
Come
on, if you're gonna go Sony, go Parappa the Rapper. Come on.
I'd be happy with that. I'd be happy with that.
That would be funny.
This makes you want to play All Stars Battle Royale again. So
Kratos versus Mario.
No. I'd be cool if they did like a Disney thing where they had Mickey Mouse and Smash Brothers. That would be
sure.
Yeah.
Kratos' son.
Or Darth Vader. Darth Vader in Smash Brothers. How dope would that be?
Darth Vader choking Mario.
Darth Vader versus Cloud.
What if they put in the Rabbids? Like, what if the Ubisoft deal came through and the Ubisoft deal continued and they put a Rabbid in there?
I'd say, all right, whatever.
You could do Rabbids like they did Ice Climbers.
Sure.
That would be cool.
You know,
which
I think is a character that's
game though.
No. I think you're. I wouldn't.
Do they replace one of Mario's special attacks as Cappy?
Oh, that'd be sweet.
That'd be cool.
Kind of like a Kirby thing where you just take their power.
That'd be cool. Yeah. All right.
Speaking of Kirby, real quick, HAL Laboratories' mobile game is now available on our side of the pond, and it's out on Android and iOS right now.
Good for them.
So if you wonder what HAL is doing, they put out a mobile game. It's now available over, I think, UFO Attack or something like that. UFO Invasion.
Okay.
Something like that. But it's now available on mobile.
Interesting.
Anything else on Smash before we move on, fellas?
No, I think we're smashed.
Great. Dave pissed his pants because...
Yes, he did.
I'm going to break his heart here a little bit as well.
Yeah.
Because Chrono Trigger is now available on Steam. It's soft launched on Steam today for $15.
And mobile.
And according to Steam reviews, it fucking sucks.
Because it's the mobile version on Steam.
It's the mobile version.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Like they did with Final Fantasy III. It is the mobile version of Chrono Trigger. They ported to Steam very poorly.
So you mean don't buy the Apple iTunes Store version? Oh, damn it.
It works on mobile devices, but don't play it there.
Right.
If you're going to play it, emulate it.
Unless you own it already.
Too bad. I was about to bite on it too because it has like the DS content that I've never played before.
Oh, damn.
I didn't buy the DS version.
Enhanced graphics and sound. I think it has the cutscenes from the PS1 version of it as well. Which I have that version, so let's play that.
Yep, I've got that too.
Chrono Cross. It was part of says it wasn't part of Chrono Cross. It was part of Final Fantasy original
Final Fantasy
anthology.
Yeah, it was the second anthology. It was called Final Fantasy Chronicles, and it came with Chrono Trigger and Final Fantasy 4.
4. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I lost track of the numbering of Final Fantasy games.
Yeah, I got it.
Fucking stupid.
That's all.
But yeah, Chrono Trigger's on Steam. Don't buy it.
That's too bad.
It is. It gives me hope, though, because if they're putting it on Steam, if they're giving it a release, gives me hope that they're putting it out in the public consciousness in advance of a second Chrono Trigger game.
Right.
Kind of gauging that. I get it. Yeah, put it out there.
The dream is alive, boys. The dream is alive.
Yep.
Now, Chrono Cross is just Chrono Trigger on PS1, correct?
No,
isn't that a whole new game?
Chrono Cross is a completely different game. Chrono Cross is, I don't know if I'd call it a true sequel to Chrono Trigger, but it's in the same universe and has the same themes. Not quite the same themes, but it's part of that universe. But it wasn't like a direct sequel.
Okay, because I own that, but I just never played it.
I played about 30 hours of it, and it's a really good game as far as combat goes. The magic system and everything was really good. The music in that game is one of the best soundtracks of all time. Yasunori Mitsuda just over the top. The thing that I didn't like about it was that it had 40 characters that you could recruit into your party. So with that many characters, the storyline, you didn't really get to know those characters. You didn't feel a connection to those characters like you did with Chrono Trigger's characters. So that's what kind of killed the game for me, and I regrettably never finished Chrono Cross.
So Chrono Trigger 2, we hope. I mean, I assume that's what we call it, Chrono Trigger 2.
Yes, please, Chrono Trigger 2. Give me back to Gardia. Give me descendants of the characters, or maybe the same characters.
Would you rather it be like in that 2D style, but like an HD 2D, or do you want to go Final Fantasy 7 and go polygonal and go 3D? Go and go that route.
I would be okay with a 2D.
Yep.
Yeah.
Kind of like a Cosmic Star Heroine.
Yes.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be like that authentic to the 16-bit era, but just nice 2D. If they could do something, and this is getting way too much into the dream box right now, but let's say that before World War III breaks out, or alien invasion, or whatever form of apocalypse, let's say God gives us one more reason to smile before it all comes down, and Akira Toriyama comes back to do the artwork for Chrono Trigger 2, and Square is like, hey, let's spend some money on something. Okay. My hope is that Chrono Trigger 2 would have that Akira Toriyama art, and it would be done in a 2D style, but it would look like Dragon Ball FighterZ.
Ooh.
Oh.
That would kill me. That would just kill me. I would die a happy man in the nuclear holocaust. I'd be like, at least we got Chrono Trigger 2 and it was good.
Happy man.
Yep.
Anyway.
Before we move on, SmackDown check-in, fellers. Anything happening?
Sami Zayn beat, or no, Baron Corbin beat Sami Zayn, and then Baron Corbin got taken out by Dolph Ziggler. That's all I got.
Oh. There you go.
Sounds
like those two have a rendezvous at the kickoff show coming up.
Oh.
Video games, the ESRB is adding a new label for in-game purchases, allowing you to know that there are microtransactions involved in this game. Yay, fellas, this is good. This is good, bad. I mean, yeah.
I'm sorry, but this is something that's been done to protect people from, the horror of loot boxes that they're spending so much money on these things, and now it's like it's a horrible form of gambling. I'm sorry, but if you're spending hundreds of dollars on loot boxes, you're an idiot, and I think you deserve to be taken. If we really need to label loot boxes, come on.
I don't think they're idiots for buying boxes. Obviously, they care about the game and they want to get stuff out of the boxes.
But
and
if they're like, so
that's what the Madden Ultimate Team does. EA makes so much money off of the Madden Ultimate Team. been doing that for years, and the players know exactly what they're doing.
Sure.
And have no problem with that.
Sure.
If people want to spend that money, go for it. I love cosmetic loot boxes. I have bought some boxes in my life for sure.
Sure. Well, I mean,
I am not
there's certain
stupid.
games that do it right. There's
I
certain
support
games
people.
that do it right. And I don't think that Dave's obviously saying that you're stupid if you buy them.
No, I'm not
But
saying
if you're
that.
someone, you call me an
But
idiot.
if you're someone that's being egregious,
right,
and you knowingly are doing that, like, okay, let's take a look at some games that do it the right way. Overwatch does it the right way.
Yes.
Halo 5 did it the right way, for example.
Mostly, yes.
Okay, but look at like games, and then you get games that maybe didn't do it so right. Look at Battlefront 2 got hit pretty hard because of that, right? So, I mean, if you're sitting here doing it, because the big conversation is buying loot boxes, is that a form of gambling? So, like, that was a discussion I actually had at dinner with my wife, and we were kind of going back and forth on what our thoughts were. And you know what? I mean, whether it is or not, whether you think it is or not, it doesn't really matter in the end. If you knowingly are buying these, because it doesn't say you're getting the item. It's a randomized chance.
Right.
You don't know that you're getting it. Otherwise, they'd say, here is this said costume, buy it. Mm-hmm. And if there's in-game currency, then you can use that. If there's not, well, don't steal your mom's credit card.
All I'm trying to say is that if you're that financially irresponsible that you're going to be spending hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars on freaking loot boxes, then yes, you are an idiot. If you don't realize that you're spending that much money and you need a warning label or someone to hold your hand as an adult doing this, then you're an idiot. I'm not saying somebody buying the occasional loot box or cosmetic item is an idiot. Right. I'm saying if you cannot control yourself, then you've got other problems than loot boxes.
Right. And look at games like and it's a game I don't really play. I've maybe dabbled in it here and there, like League of Legends. Everything is hidden behind it's a free to play game, but if you want to unlock stuff, you got to buy it. You just got to this is what it is. And I know people that have spent hundreds of dollars on it, but they've played this game for how many years? So if you take a $60 game and you get, 14 hours out of it, where somebody's playing League of Legends for hundreds of hours over the course of 4 or 5 years and they've spent a couple $100s, well, more power to them. They're supporting the company, and I get that. Yeah. But they're also doing because they want to do it. There's a different variant to it, and I agree with you, Dave. If you're someone that's going to go out there and just be egregious with it, and you're basically feeding into what they're wanting you to do anyway, then yeah, you may need to have a little chat with yourself. But on the other hand, if you buy that occasional loot box, or if you're playing a free-to-play game and you spend the money on it, then, I mean, if you got it and you're not irresponsible to the point where you're not being able to pay your bills, then sure, then whatever, more power to you. But yeah,
the whole point is that the ESRB is now putting a label on there saying, hey,
yes,
you can spend money in this game, much like McDonald's put caution hot on their coffee. ESRB is now doing
that's a good comparison.
Yeah, that's the
we know it's hot.
Yeah.
We know these games we've degenerated.
Yeah.
So it's mainly for kids.
Transparency's sake.
Like parents understand that this game has in-game purchases. So if you had your credit card tied to this, be warned that your child could run up your bill.
I agree.
And maybe that's a good point. I'm
glad that they're putting it on there just so that for that reason. But yeah, when you get older, priorities, people.
Right.
But if putting the label on there for adults to know that kids could, buy stuff. This happens in mobile games. When you download a free-to-play mobile game, it says in-app purchases.
Yes, you're right.
So this is no different from that.
Look at Puzzle Fighter. We downloaded that. That says it right on there when you hit the get button. It's free to get, but you can pay money to do that. You don't have to, but you can.
I think I spent $5 for the welcome chest. Sure. Got some characters and paid $5. Sure.
I think I did too.
I think I put down about $5 or $10 into WWE Champions just to get some wrestlers.
Huh.
And I went, why did I do that? Fuck. Well, it's a good time waster.
Speaking of time, let's talk about the national pastime.
Baseball?
Baseball.
What? Oh, wait. Justin has his Red Sox stuff. Hang on.
Oh. Just happened to be what I was wearing.
There it is.
All right.
There we go.
The Cubs hat on.
Yep. And actually, I can't say this too often. Of the two teams, who's won the World Series most recently?
Yeah. Tis true.
It feels
Tis
great.
true.
It feels great.
No, but Justin, you've been following development of MLB The Show 18, which is coming out in March. We're like right on the cusp of its release. Lots of big improvements coming out for this game. Some that I was kind of surprised weren't already in there, like modeled bleachers. It's a little thing, but I was like, I didn't realize that there are no bleachers in the game. So
yeah.
I'm excited for this, by the way. Before you get into your spiel, I'm excited. Every year I'm excited for MLB The Show. It's a great franchise.
Mm-hmm.
It's been great year after year after year. And where Madden has sort of like kind of plateaued because there's no competition for Madden. So they can just kind of sit there and kind of do this the status quo. MLB The Show still tries to find innovations and improvements.
Right.
Even though the only competition is RBI baseball, which isn't really competition.
It's not a competition.
Right. It's junk.
No.
So go on. I'm looking forward to this.
No, I mean, I was just going to say, from everything that Sony San Diego does say, that if they want to do something, they're going to do it right. So they're not going to rush it. There was even talk about a couple of features that they're that I didn't really specify or talk about in the article. But, for example, so obviously I just published today on nerdbacon.com is the MLB The Show preview article number 2. This one covers all the small things or all the little things that are in this game that you may not notice, such as there's now animations when your batter holds the bat. His fingers don't just hold the bat; they actually move and they'll kind of wiggle and just like in real life, they have animations for that. They talked about this new practice mode that they've introduced this year. And one of the things they want to do is to be able to tell it, like say, okay, I want the ball to be hit to shortstop so I can practice my double plays from short to second to first. Okay, cool. Or maybe it's like from short to third to first or something. It's something weird. They did not have the chance or time to enter that in. And there's still this awesome practice mode, which I go into detail about. But they're like, you'll probably see that in next year's game. So they're obviously already planning for the future. So Jeff hits the nail on the head here.
Practice mode sounds like a fighting game. Practice mode, like I want to know like what my frame advantage here, what my inputs are. Opponent standing.
It's pretty cool. It is pretty cool, and what you can and can't do with it. It is pretty seamless. Hit the pause button. Go down to who's up the batter. Or if you're the pitcher, who's in the field, you can just push the up or down button, and it switches to the next batter or whoever you want. And then you just go back into the game and seamlessly, no load screen, it just adds in the next guy. So that's really cool. I also talk about, like Dave said, little things, such as there's bleachers in the game now. So in previous baseball games, every stadium had single seats, and they had the crowd dispersed in there as they would. Mm-hmm. And in this year's game, stadiums that have bleachers or bench seating now have bleachers or bench seating, which is really cool. Yeah, Wrigley. PNC Park, PNC Park's another one, and that's really cool. And another thing is too, and I kind of go into, I didn't really go into it too much in this article because of the length, and I was trying to like jam so much information in there. Is the time of day and also the score of the game is going to dictate the crowd size. So if while you're looking out at those bleachers, it could be a full, if it's in the 8th inning, it's a tie game betwing the Cubs and the Cardinals. White Sox, for example, Cubs and Cardinals. It might be sold out. You're going to see everybody there. But if it's 7th inning and it's 11-1, and they're like, oh well, this game, and say the Cubs are losing, it's at Wrigley.
Yeah.
What?
Then the crowd's going to be bare.
People are going to get on that red line early.
Yeah. So basically, there are a lot of really cool little things, a lot of numbers I threw out there, like how many different stances that they've updated, new stuff. They also, the batting stance creator is probably the big feature this week that's in the article. Mm-hmm. So one of the most requested things that Sony San Diego has heard about is a batting stance creator. So how this works is, say you pick, we'll go with the Cubs, for example, Javi Baez. So we pick Javi Baez, and he's got his stance. And Jeff wants Javi Baez's stance as his baseline, and he picks Javi Baez and as the stance, and then he modifies from there. So you can also pick a generic one and modify from there. You can start from the generic one, literally, and modify from there. But say you want somebody that has a bigger hip turn, or they have a bigger stance where it's open wide, you can start with that and modify from there. Now you're not going to get too crazy. because if it clips, if you're going to see the animation be weird, the hands too close to the body, that kind of thing, where it's not going to flow right, it'll actually tell you you can't do that. Like it's too much. But it's as simple as a menu. It's just XYZ, go to this one, you move it up and down. This one moves it, back and forth. This one moves it in and out. And that's really all it is. It's really cool. And when they showed it, it seemed so seamless. They changed Carlos Correa from the Houston Astros, and then they went in and played as the Astros, and his stance was done, changed. I was like, okay, that's cool. So
if I were to make one, I would start with, because I think when I played baseball, I modeled my stance after Ken Griffey Jr.'s.
You can
so
do that.
I was a huge Griffey fan back in the day. So I would start with him and then go from there. But that's cool. You can do that. That's really cool.
Again, he had a lot of bat wiggle, so that is something.
I got some bat wiggle for you.
That's you do,
ladies.
I am uncomfortable. Is Craig Counsell's batting stance in there?
They didn't specify, but I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised if it's in there in the veteran stances or something like that. I would not be surprised if it's in there. I'm sure it is. And if it's not, I'm sure you can modify it to that. They actually gave Carlos Correa a pretty wide open stance where his front leg was pretty far back and up on its toes, but if it's not able to be physically done, you're not going to be able to do it. Now I'm interested to see, because they did say with you can change for online and offline mode, but when you're doing Diamond Dynasty, for example, and if you make everybody have the Jeff Bagwell hunched over stance, so the strike zone's 2 inches big, then you won't see that in there. That's so they don't have the abusing online. Sure. So if I'm playing Jeff or playing Dave, you can't abuse that system.
Interesting.
You'd have a generic, Bagwell would still have Bagwell stance, but Griffey wouldn't have Bagwell stance, for example.
Right. So I'm looking forward to online stuff. I know I dabbled in the kind of their version Ultimate Team in the past couple of years and got their cards and played some online, some Diamond Dynasty stuff. But I hope there's more single player online offerings, because a lot of it is tied to playing other people. Sure. And I do want to get into an online league with you. That would be fun. We can stream that and have a Nerd Bacon League going on. But I'm interested to see what online offerings they offer this year.
And it does. There's gonna obviously I'll be starting my preview number 3 article here shortly, and that is going to go over more about presentation. That'll be out early next week as well. The number 4 that'll go into the Diamond Dynasty stuff that they're covering. And that's actually, they haven't done the stream yet. That's obviously this week, so I'll be getting my notes all together for that. But the cool thing is what they're showing is they wanted everything to be competitive, whether you're playing against someone that's couch co-op or whether you're playing with somebody online. They wanted that competitiveness to be more balanced because they were finding a lot of online loopholes that people were doing. And so that would be really nice to have. And then also it looks like for the missions so that you can complete, it's a little bit more streamlined where you can pick what you want to do instead of being forced to do something else. So I think that's going to open up some single player offline and / online options for you as well.
Cool. Excellent. So, and when is this out?
Exactly 1 month from today, unless you pre-order it and you get it on March 23rd.
All right, there you go.
Which I am getting on March 23rd because my plan is to play it that weekend and then have the review up on the 27th.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think I'll get it early, and then maybe we can do a launch day cross stream or something like that.
Yeah, pre-order through Best Buy, GameStop, Target, or the PlayStation Store, and you can get it 4 days early with the extra bonus tickets or whatever the stuff is.
I'll probably just do it on the PSN.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
But I do so last year I bought the Ken Griffey Jr. version, so I had his jersey on the steelbook. Yep. That looked so cool.
God, it feels only yesterday that game came out.
I know. That's the one downfall with the annualized sports games, is that's one reason I get the physical copies, because at least I can get some kind of recouped money out of it. I don't get much, but this year it's the All Rise edition because it is the Aaron Judge cover athlete. So in the game you'll have the judges' quarters where they have the guys wearing the big judge old school judge hair wigs and
the wigs.
Oh god. Yeah, are they bringing back the kind of the old school the kind of the RBI style mode?
Yeah.
Last year they had the
retro mode is back.
Yeah,
retro mode is back this year. Yep,
retro mode
is back. Yep, retro mode is back, and that's not going anywhere. Another thing I want to highlight, this will be the last thing I talk about, with then will be the show on the stream for you guys, and then we can move on, is I mentioned rain delays. Rain delays are in this game for the first time. That does not mean there will be, there will not be double headers. There will not be cancellations. There will only be delays. Rain is now dynamic. It's no longer just white streams that come down the screen. You'll see a difference in rain. So maybe the rain's moving from Arizona to Los Angeles, and the Dodgers are playing, and so are the Diamondbacks. And while it's heavy in one, maybe it's starting to move into Los Angeles and it's light there. That's actually going to happen in the game. So it's more dynamic. So then rain will start, and then say they call the game and it's only a rain delay for 15 minutes or 3 hours. Either way, you're going to get a decision. Do you leave your pitcher in or do you take him out? And it's going to the length will also determine whether or not the confidence level and the stamina, how much that has dropped in that time frame. So, I mean, that's some really cool, almost like RPG elements to it when it comes to that. So
that could potentially be infuriating.
Yes, I could see that. And they said it is very randomized. It is not like you're going to see a lot of rain delays where like every time it rains. So they said for anybody that wants to play with their friend, if they turn rain on, doesn't mean you're going to get a rain delay. It's just random.
Right. And to quell your frustration, you can turn this stuff off.
Yeah. I mean, it's.
But then you lose out on that realism, and I'm a purist.
Yeah. I really like the realism part of it, and of course, again, you want to play a quick game, you can always do 3 innings. They brought all that back. The retro mode, like we talked about just a minute ago, is all back. So I'm really excited for it, and if you get a chance, go to the nerdbacon.com and take a look.
All right. And these games are great to look at too. So I'm looking forward to playing this year's version.
It is pro enhanced.
Ooh,
there you go.
Ooh,
with your shiny new,
pretty on that shiny Pro.
Shiny new Pro and 4K TV that Justin has all the money for now.
Yeah, look at this.
Yeah. Share with us.
Rolling in the dough.
God. All right.
Speaking of rolling, it's about time to begin the wrap-up procedures here.
Yeah, so we'll do a couple of quick hits here. Tony Hawk is no longer working with Activision on reboots or going forward. Yeah. This makes me happy on one end because Tony Hawk Pro Skater 5 was complete fucking trash. It was one of the worst games I've ever played.
Yep.
Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 is one of the best games ever made. So I'm sad that I'm not going to see a HD version of that. But hopefully this means going forward... Yeah. Hopefully, going forward, Tony Hawk will actually have good games because Robomoto did the recent ones, the HD remaster, or HD collection, Pro Skater 5. I think they did like the Downhill Jam stuff, and they were all just fucking garbage.
Now he's free to be in Smash.
I think they may have done the Ride and Shred. I think they had the peripheral board that came with it, which was also complete garbage.
Yeah, they've all been garbage since 4. 4 was the last one that was decent, and then it's just been...
Project 8 was okay.
I was okay.
He hasn't been relevant since Tony Hawk 3.
Fine.
Sure.
But I was okay with Underground 1 and 2. I was okay with Project 8. I was okay with American Wasteland. Other than that...
Yeah.
Also, Metal Gear Survive has a hidden message to Kojima, and because in the very beginning you have a list of names, and it says if you go in the right algorithm, it says KJP Forever, Kojima Productions Forever, and it calls the director a bastard and producer cunning. Also, Dave, I hate to say this, but it's not getting completely terrible reviews. It's getting better reviews than Chrono Trigger on Steam. So,
damn.
People that I've heard play this game, Metal Gear Survive, said it's actually weirdly fun. It's frustrating, yes. It's a cash-in, yes. But weirdly, if you give it a chance, it's fun. I'm not saying give it a chance because I know you're anti-Konami right now.
Sure. I'm just saying, every video that I've seen, this game looks horrible. It's basically you're poking zombies with a stick. You build a fence and you poke them with a stick, and the zombies are as dumb as the stick. So it looks like an exercise in tedium and stupidity.
Sure. But some people, a lot of people that I'm watching play it saying it's really
Those are the same people that like Star Wars Episode 8.
Well, you never know.
So I'll say two things. I looked it up on Metacritic just to see what the score's at. It's sitting about a 64 on there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I've seen a lot worse.
64 is not very good for Metacritic.
It's not
It
bad.
No,
is
right
bad.
there.
It's not like dog shit.
It
Well,
is.
it takes 6.4 out of 10 if you want to go there. That's right. That's right about the average mark. 7 is average.
D's getting degrees.
Now, all I'm saying is this: if you can get by how Kojima was treated, which we all didn't agree with or like,
right.
If you can get by the fact this is a cash in on the Metal Gear name, and you give it a chance, it sounds like it's not terrible, but it does sound like it's pretty nitpicky. Like the game is just real, like, okay, like Dave said, you're poking somebody with a stick.
Sure.
So, some of the
you want to talk about slime ball tactics. If you want to have a second save file, you have to pay $10.
Yeah, that's pretty.
That's shitty. Yeah. That's shitty.
This game is dog meat, dudes. It's dog meat. I will play it. I mean, just maybe I'll gamefly it just for laughs. But there's nothing serious about this game. And people who are liking this game, then I've got nothing to say. Just stop eating paint chips.
If I ever see it in Redbox, like for what, $1 or $3, I might then. Maybe I'll just drop a little thing on that. But like I'm reading a quick user review and someone's like, Metal Gear, this is a joke. It's not a Metal Gear game. Well, okay, we get it. But maybe if you would have done your research, you would have seen.
It's a double-edged sword. People are talking about this game because it says Metal Gear. So
yes.
If you didn't call it Metal Gear, who would care? But now you put that label on, and people go, oh. What is this? And you have that interest. So I see why they did that. Okay. Go ahead.
I would just say it's just a last minute ditch effect to like say, hey, I want to cash in on something that we're not going to be able to make anymore.
You know what this is? This is direct to video Metal Gear.
It's
like when you have a
Andromeda.
blockbuster series and then all the main people leave, but they're still continuing on that movie franchise name and it goes direct to video. That's what this is.
This
Mass
is
Effect Andromeda.
Yeah. Well, this is the this is the game you're gonna see for, games with gold or free on PS Plus or
no one will download it then.
All over, you're gonna see it all over like a GameStop in the used section because everybody returned it, and it's gonna be so cheap.
Target clearance bin really soon.
Yep, you're right. Yep.
Two more things I want to get to before we sign off. For the fighting game fans, the Humble Brawler bundle is up right now.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Let me detail it for you. I have it up on the screen right now. So if you go to Humble Bundle, you can pay what you want for this bundle. So if you go to pay what you want, you can get Guilty Gear XX Accent Core Plus R, Blaze Blue Continuum Shift Extend, and Skullgirls. Now, you get these all. These are all Steam codes. You cash in on Steam to collect them. If you want to spend more than the average of $5.57, you get all those games plus Arcana Heart 3 Love Max with all exclamation points.
Nice.
And Street Fighter Cross Tekken.
I mean, if you don't have those are if you don't have some of those games, then it's a really good deal. But I was not as excited. I was a little let down. I've already got Skullgirls. I've got Arcana Heart 3 on the PlayStation 3.
Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, those are not current. Those are like 2 or 3 generations behind in Guilty Gear. So.
Oh, sure.
If you pay $9 or more, you get all those games plus Guilty Gear Xrd Design, Rivals of Aether, and if you're a subscriber, you get $2 in your Humble Wallet credit. So you get $2 extra in your bank. Also, you get the Skullgirls soundtrack and 25% off them's Fighting Herds.
Huh. I think it's the paying more than the average might be worth it just for a PC copy of Street Fighter Cross Tekken. I mean, that's kind of a fun game.
Sure.
Yeah.
But if it doesn't come with all the DLC, then it's not as good of a deal.
Sure.
Skullgirls is worth it though. If you don't have Skullgirls already, then Jesus, what's wrong with you?
I kind of want to play Arcana Heart 3 just because I like weird shit. So
it is weird. It's not bad.
Yeah, I think I have I think I actually have all those games except Arcana Heart.
Oh.
And of course, if you're a subscriber, you get 10% off anyway. So if you go to the store, you get 10% off of stuff, which I might pull the trigger on the Street Fighter 3 Season 3 pass.
Oh,
As soon as I have a
right.
discount on that on Steam.
You better do it, because Blanca is dope.
I know, Blanca looks so cool. All right, this is the last podcast of February, so let's do a quick look ahead to March and what's coming out. Let me hit some highlights for you. Final Fantasy 15 hits PC on March 6th.
I'm going to check out that demo.
There is a benchmark out. If you want to download a free benchmark, just see if your computer can run it. Which yours should be able to, but Final Fantasy 15 has some weird shit as far as pushing PCs to the limit. So it's a free benchmark you can download and test your PC for FF15. Scribblenauts Showdown comes out for Nintendo Switch, PS4, Xbox One, also on the 6th.
Oh.
Warhammer Vermintide 2, which is the Warhammer version of Left 4 Dead, which I love the first game, comes out March 8th on PC. The Devil May Cry HD Collection on March 13th for PC, PS4, Xbox One.
And that includes what in that HD collection?
Dos and Tres.
Okay.
Is it 3 Dante's Awakening?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. So not 4, but 1, 2, and 3.
Yep.
I think I have the newest.
It already
remaker.
came out on Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3 back in the day.
Kirby Star Allies comes out March 16th on the Switch.
Mm-hmm.
March 20th, we see Assassin's Creed Rogue Remastered, as well as Sea of Thieves. Sea of Thieves is PC and Xbox One. Rogue Remastered is PS4, Xbox One.
Sea of Thieves is the most interesting one.
It's
going to be very, very interesting to see how that game does.
If the closer we get, the more I'm keeping an eye on it, because part of me says if it's worth diving into, I would do that just for like a Nerd Bacon stream night, thing of just like us three going and messing around, shooting cannons and finding loot, finding that booty.
Break the game. I keep missing the alphas and betas for that, and I'm like, I should probably play it at some point. I keep getting invites, but I just can't ever have time to play it. The March 23rd, we see A Way Out on PC, PS4, and Xbox One.
That's right.
We see Detective Pikachu on 3DS.
No.
Yep.
And we also see Ni no Kuni 2 Revenant Kingdom on PC and PS4.
Yep.
There we go. Big hits for me are going to be Sea of Thieves, just out of interest. I don't think I'm going to buy it. And Ni no Kuni 2 is interesting. Probably won't buy it.
Got a couple left. March 27th, we see Far Cry 5 and MLB The Show 18.
Mm-hmm.
Far Cry, of course, is on PC, PS4, Xbox One, and it'll be the show only on PS4.
Yep.
Also, at some point this month, we see RBI Baseball, but no one fucking cares. It'll be on Switch, PS4, Xbox One.
Don't care.
Obviously, other games will come and go, but those are kind of the highlights for me. I'm going to pick up...
March 16th, you missed one. If you were into Burnout Paradise Remastered on March 16th.
That's
right.
That
is a biggie.
It's not on Wikipedia. I am interested in that, but it's not on PC yet.
No, Xbox One, PS4.
For me, my highlights, I'm going to pick up Warhammer Vermintide 2, because I really enjoyed the first game of that. I'm going to try my PC at Final Fantasy 15, because that version will come with everything.
Wow.
As far as I know, it's going to come with all the episodes afterwards and the comrades stuff, so I believe is the case on that.
Did you hear that they're still going to support it with 4 more DLC episodes throughout 2018 into 2019?
Oh.
Yeah. That Final Fantasy 15 train is still rolling.
Wow.
It's a good game.
It is a good game. I liked it a lot.
But people, we need to save money.
I actually finished it. It's one of the...
Ooh.
Yeah. It's a game I finished.
Have you finished Mario Odyssey yet?
Not yet.
God damn it, Dave.
Damn it, Dave.
I've been playing some Street Fighter.
That's okay.
Oh my god. We gotta save money though, because April we're gonna see Yakuza 6 and we're gonna see God of fucking War.
Yes.
That's when the year starts for me.
Yes.
March is getting the ball rolling, but April we're gonna get some heavy hitters, and I cannot wait.
Demo for Yakuza 6 is up in the PlayStation Store right now.
So Yakuza 6 looks so cool because they have this wave-based tower defense mode. It's kind of fucking cool.
Supposedly the Yakuza 6 demo is bigger than some games.
Oh, yeah. Great.
There's an article that I was reading. I can't quote exactly where it was from, but it was essentially saying that Yakuza 6's demo is bigger than some games. I don't know how big the damn thing is, but if you don't have the demo, go try it out.
Yakuza is a great franchise, and I want to go hard in the Yakuza series, and there's some really good stuff there.
And of course, we're all going to probably dive into God of War. I would imagine.
Oh my God, dude! Yeah, God of War looks so goddamn good.
I have so many questions.
Speaking of going hard, gentlemen, we are at an hour and 37 minutes. I haven't had dinner yet, so let's bring this one home.
Let's take her home. All right, people. Real quick, yesterday on Amazon, I bought an HDMI splitter. So that way I can stream PS3 games in HD glory.
Wow.
That should be coming in tomorrow so I'll get that from Amazon, hook up my PS3 tonight, which I haven't done in quite some time. So I got some good PS3 games I want to stream off that, including the God of War collection, but I forget that God of War has naked boobs, and I don't think Twitch appreciates having naked boobs.
Babies!
Babes. Like I replayed number 3 remastered, and yes, there are boobs.
Yeah. Great games. Other than that, don't forget to follow us here at NerdBacon.com on Twitch. Twitch TV is just NerdBacon. Check out NerdBacon.com for all the latest gaming. Follow my Twitch page at Jeff Roth. You can see me struggling at Sprint Vector on VR. I played some Dragon Ball FighterZ last night and got some quality wins. I feel good knowing that I have not played in weeks and I can still get some wins. I'm very happy with myself, so screw y'all. Follow Justin at Level Up Justin here on Twitch. Yeah. Dave streams here at the Nerd Bacon page. Fellas, plug away. I'm talking too much.
The most important thing you can do is give us a follow right here on this Twitch channel, so you can be apprised of whenever we go live, and also when the Level Up Lariat podcast comes back, which it does every week at this time. Otherwise, I've been playing a lot of Blanca and Street Fighter. It's by far the most fun DLC character that I've seen in Street Fighter V. He's so well done. I love him to death. I love his new command throw. He's great. He does have some shortcomings, but it's part of the balancing act, and it's perfect for me. I love Blanca. Blanca's so good.
I gotta buy that season pass.
Just do it.
Sakura was good, and Blanca has just been great. So
Sakura was really good too.
I was debating either buying that season pass or buy year 3 of Rainbow Six Siege, and I'm like,
get that season pass. Get
Street Fighter. Pass. Go Street Fighter on this one. Yeah.
All right.
Justin, pull away.
Follow us here at Nerd Bacon on Twitch. Level Up Justin on Twitch. Level Up Justin on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook. All those fun things, social medias. Make sure you go to nerdbacon.com and check out all things video game. Video games. We're finishing up Retroary. There's some really cool articles up there, as well as the MLB The Show previews that we're putting out there. So make sure you're reading all those articles. There's some really cool reads out there. And then as far as what I've been playing, I just beat God of War 3 Remastered. May do a review on that, I'm thinking. Jump back into Everybody's Golf. Got myself
there you go.
Got myself an albatross the other night. I posted it on my Facebook. It's out there for everybody to see.
I bet it was a mega hole with the tornado and everything.
Actually, it was a normal hole with the tornado. I'm not even gonna lie. It was. Yep. And then really just I'm really diving into the writing thing. I haven't been streaming as much, but that is going to change again soon. So stay tuned to the Level Up Justin channel and give a follow on Nerd Bacon and on Level Up Justin and on Jeff Roth and all things social media.
For the Level Up Lariat podcast at nerdbacon.com, I am Jeff, a.k.a. Jeff Roth.
I'm Dave the Watchman.
And I am Level Up Justin.
We will see you here next week. The Level Up Lariat podcast. Stay sizzling.
That's right. Game tasty.
Bye.